Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is explain the TCP request channel. The get socket ID, get FD just returns the socket ID. It's just a getter. So then the constructor takes in the host name and the port number. And if the host name is empty, it sets up the server. And then if there is a host name, it'll set up the client side. And the client will connect to the server through the socket. And then if the constructor just has an integer in it, it'll set that equal to the socket file descriptor. The destructor just closes the socket file descriptor. cread uses receive, which will read the message sent from the other side, and then send, or cwrite uses send to send a message. And then the server, I changed the server to got rid of the FIFO and put in the TCP request channels. So I had to replace all the FIFO request channels with TCP request channel. I also commented out the process new channel request because that's taken care of in main with the while loop. And then, so go to the main. Oh, and got rid of, commented this out because don't send new channel messages anymore. Alright, so the changes in the main, added R as an input to give the port number. So it creates the control channel, which is just the server, the starting server channel, and then inside this while loop, it will accept channels from the client and then put those in the thread to handle sending and receiving messages from the client through that. And then changes to the client, I had to I replaced the FIFO with the TCP request channel everywhere. And then nothing was changed in the worker thread function or the histogram one. Then in the file thread, it was just this that was changed. And then I added a host name and the port number as inputs to the client. Got rid of it doesn't fork anymore, and run the server as a child. And then this is just created for the use of the file thread function. This is where all the worker channels are created. There's no new messages sent anymore. And besides that, it is the same. And it doesn't wait for the server anymore because it's not a child process. So the first thing I'm going to do is transfer the 15. I'm going to run the server as local first, and then at the end I'll use Teddy's server to show that it can connect over the internet and it works, but I'll do local first to show that my server code works. So I'll run the server first, start it, and then I will run the client. It's going to connect through the localhost at port 10,000. We'll get 15,000 data points from all 15 files with 100 worker threads. Should take about 10 seconds, 9 to 10 seconds. So here's the data message. I'll show it transferring a binary file called big. And I'll run the diff command. And it's the same. Okay. And then, one second. And then to show, so I'm going to end the server function or program now. And then I will connect to the server that Teddy put up. And I'll transfer just a file. I'll transfer 5.csv. Alright, so that took around 2 seconds. Here's the file. I'll run the diff command on it. And there's no differences. That was over through Teddy's server. So it does work it can connect through the internet. Is that this IP, that port number, and that's the IP address again. Took 2 seconds. Let me make sure that's all. And then the diminishing returns for the amount of threads for workers, and this one seems to, you get diminishing returns around 100 worker threads, and then over locally, TCP and FIFO are about the same, take about the same amount of time. And then over the internet, it kind of depends. It's actually, it depends on the internet connection, but it's, I think it's, if I remember correctly, it's a little faster with TCP. Or it's a little, I think it's a little slower actually. But it does depend on the internet connection. And then, yeah, and then that's it.